It's Karate Josh here, and today I want to talk to you guys about 5 things that I no longer bring along with me while I'm backpacking. So, first, let's just get this out of the way and talk about this thing first. Cook systems. I no longer bring any sort of cook system with me at all. I don't do a pot. I don't bring anything. I go completely stoveless because for me, it is it's just easier for me to go out and grab something on the go, because I simply eat to fuel my body out on the trail. I don't eat for pleasure out on the trail. I'm just out there to fuel my body so I can keep hiking, and that's it. So I no longer bring any sort of cook system with me, and it also saves me about a pound off my base weight. So that is another advantage of going stoveless. And like I said, for me, I don't need no hot meal. It's not who I am. Going stoveless fits my lifestyle a little bit better. I tend to go with a high protein diet. I eat things like beef jerky, tuna packets, and protein bars, nuts, things like that. So no stove for me, and like I said, I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to using a stove. Even if I was gonna do a through hike, I don't think I'd bring a stove along. The only time I'd really bring a stove along is if I was doing like a more leisurely camping trip. Then I might bring some of that stuff along and eat some different kinds of food. But for now, it's stoveless, and I like it. Next, my underquilt. I don't bring an underquilt anymore. And the only reason I don't bring an underquilt with my hammock is because I use a sleep pad in my hammock. And the reason I use a sleep pad in my hammock is for the versatility of it. You know, you may be somewhere where you just can't find a spot to hang, or maybe there's no trees to hang, so you have to go to the ground. I don't like to sleep on the ground at all. So the versatility of having a nice sleep pad, I use the Thermarest X-Therm. Super warm, super thick, and it's pretty comfortable on the ground. You know, if I do have to go down to the ground, I just pitch like an A-frame style shelter with my tarp, and then sleep on my sleep pad for the night, and it's just fine. But I do prefer the hammock, and I use the sleep pad in the hammock. I've used the X-Therm in my hammock down to the low teens, and it's always kept me warm. So I mean, I've never had an issue. That the underquilt is a little bit more comfortable in a hammock, but the sleep pad's not bad, and it's definitely still better for me than sleeping on the ground. Next thing is these big old things here. Big old style mummy bag. I do not bring a mummy bag anymore. I kind of started with a mummy bag and evolved into top quilts. So now, you know, I bring along a top quilt with me. This one happens to be a 35-degree top quilt. It's much lighter. You know, the sleeping bag typically weighs about 2.5 pounds. Even, you know, your lightweight down options are still around the 2-pound range, where a top quilt is, this particular top quilt weighs 20 ounces, 35 degree. So it's much lighter. Still works on the ground. If you have to go to the ground, you just tuck it up under you. But in the hammock, it's just much easier to use a top quilt than a sleeping bag. So, you know, you can get in, you can just pull the top quilt up over you, you're done, that's it, and you're comfortable. So, top quilt over the sleeping bag is something that I prefer. Next is my shoes. So, over the years, I started off with these guys right here. These are the Merrell Moab. They're a waterproof. The Moab is like their version of like a Gore-Tex, and these are like full-on hiker boots. And I wore these kind of for a while, and then I kind of evolved into a lower top shoe because I don't really like the higher top shoes stuff coming up on my ankles. So I went to the lower shoe for a little bit more comfort, and these are still the waterproof, shoe. And then I eventually got rid of those, stopped wearing those, and now I just wear a full-on trail runner. This is the Adidas Terrex shoe. They're not waterproof. They're very breathable. Your feet are definitely going to get wet in these, but they dry out so quickly, it doesn't matter. And they're so much more comfortable than a traditional hiking shoe. So I definitely prefer trail runners instead of traditional hiking shoes, just for the level of comfort and the way that I hike. And then the last thing that I no longer bring along with me anymore is a bunch of extra clothes. I used to bring extra clothes for like every day I was out hiking. I don't do that anymore. I simply just wear my hiking clothes every day, and then when I get to camp, I usually bring one pair of sleep socks and then an extra pair of underwear. And that's it, and I bring a base layer. I sleep in that dry base layer all night, and then I just put my hiking clothes back on in the morning, and I just rotate them in and out like that until the trip's over. So anyways, guys, those are the 5 things I no longer bring with me backpacking. Have any questions, put it in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys.